So today is lecture number 3, Introduction to Mobile Application Development. And after completing this lecture, we will be able to understand on how on which platforms the mobile devices can run, what are the native applications, what are the hybrid applications, and what are the web applications. So these are different types of applications which can be used by the users. So we have to continue the fellow 1 assessment criteria 1.4, describe platforms and devices mobile application run on, and 1.5 is explain the difference between native web and hybrid applications. So the indicative content for the 1.4 assessment criteria is platform should include Android and Apple, and device should include mobile phones and tablets. So platforms, as you know, we are using mostly the Android mobile phones, okay, and Apple mobile phones are very expensive, and you can say the individual who are not much rich, they cannot buy the Apple or iPhones, okay. So mostly use the Android phones, and the other devices on which applications can run on. They are mobile phones, okay, or tablets on which we can download the different applications like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or banking applications. So on the mobile phones and tablets, we can download these applications. Okay, so we have Apple platform. First of all, iOS is a mobile operating system that was developed by Apple. For iPhones, iPads, and other Apple mobile devices, iOS is the second most popular and most used mobile operating system after Android. Okay, so first of all, what is iOS? iOS is a mobile operating system, okay, that is developed by Apple. Apple is the organization who has developed the iOS mobile phones. It includes iPhones, iPads, and other Apple mobile devices. Okay, and it is the second most popular platform which is used by the users. Okay, first one is Android. Okay, Android is at first number, and mostly users are people, you can say, use the Android mobile phones. And on second number, Apple mobile phones are used. Okay, the structure of the iOS operating system is layered based. Its communication doesn't occur directly. The layers between the application layer and the hardware layer will help for communication. Okay, so in this, they are saying that the structure of the operating system is layered based. Like you have layered one layer, then second layer, then third layer, and that layers are used for communication. You cannot directly communicate with it. You have to users, and in the device you have a layer. So layer between the application layer and the hardware layer will help for communication. Now they have mentioned that one is the application layer and one is the hardware layer. Between these both are, and these both layers, you have another layer which is used or help for communication to the device. The lower level gives uh, basic services on which all applications rely, and the higher level layers provide graphics and interface related services. So now the lower layers, which are at lower side, they provide you basic services on which all applications rely, like for services for which we download the applications, for example, for chatting, for meetings, for banking. So lower level layers provide these basic services, and the higher level layers provide us the graphics and interface related services. For example, the text color, okay, font style. So like this, they are communicating. Most of the system interfaces come with a special package called a framework, okay, in which in each mobile platform you have different packages which are used to install, and those packages are called frameworks. So a framework is a directory that holds dynamic shared libraries like a file, header files, images, and helper apps that support the library. Each layer has a set of frameworks that are helpful for developers. Okay, so in the a framework is a directory that holds dynamic shared libraries. Okay, it is a like a directory. Directory means a path in which you have different folders, in which you have different libraries like libraries for files, libraries for header files, okay, for images or for files stored, okay. So this is how the framework works in the mobile platforms. Okay, do you have any question in this slide? Next, this is the architecture of iOS. Okay, we have discussed that it is layer-based architecture. So here you can see we have core touch, media layer, core services, and core OS. So these are the four layers which are in the architecture of iOS. So let's see what it's saying. Apple defines the collection of mechanisms and technologies currently being introduced as a sequence of layers inside the operating system. So in the operating system of iOS or Apple, we have different layers, sequence of layers, and these are the collection of mechanisms and technologies which are used in the iOS operating system or iOS platforms. Each one of these layers comprises multiple frameworks to be used and implemented to your application areas. There are four layers in the architecture of iOS. Okay, so each layer has multiple frameworks and that could be used to implement through the that could be used and implemented through the application areas like whatever the application is designed for the iOS mobile phones. So once you interact with that application, so on the basis of interaction, they will show you each layer of this architecture will work. Okay, so these four layers are of iOS platforms: Cocoa Touch, Media Layer, Core Services, and Core iOS. So what does iOS do? Okay, so first of all, its function is run application. Run application means it is platform which can run the different applications in which you can like in iOS mobile phones or iOS tablets or iOS iPads, you can download different applications which are made for iOS mobile devices, and then you can run those application as you run the other application in the Android phones, like for example Instagram, WhatsApp, Zoom. So these applications we are using in the Android mobile phones, same like you have applications for iOS mobile phones. Then mobile security. This control allows Apple devices to offer good security. For example, iOS only allows one copy of an app on each device. So if a user has a company provided security restricted copy of an app, the user cannot also have an unrestricted version of the same app for personal use. Customizability is more restricted with iOS as well, with everything from the phone's appearance to app functionality having to fall into Apple's design rules. Okay, so the main and you can say the big advantage of Apple mobile devices is security. Okay, they provide you a high level security, and in this, if you have a copy of one application which is provided by your company, okay, and that is registered application with iOS, so you have installed that application. Okay, that application is from your company, and you have a company login and user account. But if you want that same application for your personal use, you cannot install it in your device. So this is how it is restricted access, and it also has the restrictions on appearance of the app and functionality of the application. So it is first one is run application, then second one is mobile security, then third one is multi-touch interface, and fourth one is split view screen. So next we will see next slides. So multi-touch interface. With the swipe of 3, 4, or 5 fingers, you can navigate through your iPad without clicking on the home button, saving time and increasing productivity. There are a few useful multi-touch gestures. Okay. So in this, if you if you use the 4 or 5 fingers, okay, to swipe, you can navigate through your iPad without clicking the home button. Okay, so through fingers or through multi-touch, you can do the same function, which is done by using by pressing the specific buttons. Okay, here close front tab. Use 4 or 5 fingers to pinch the screen and close the app you are currently in. Okay, so if you want to close the app, you can use your 4 or 5 finger on the application, and you can pinch the pinch the screen, and your app will be automatically closed. You don't need to press the close button of the application. So this is how it provides you multi-touch interface. Next one is split view screen. Open two different apps or two windows from the same app by splitting the screen into resizable views. For example, open messages and maps at the same time in split view. So here you can see split view screens in which you have in mobile phone you have only one screen, but once you open two applications, it will give you a view in which you can see both application screens at the same time on your mobile phone in the iOS mobile devices. Okay, so this is the hardware architecture of the iOS, in which you have core operating system, then you have core data and in core operating system you have core data and foundation, then core services, in which you have core graphics, open GL, then core animation. Okay, then you have media layer, and then you have core touch, in which you have user interface kit. So this is how the architecture of Android, iOS applications. So now one by one we will see each layer. So first of all is core operating system. All the iOS technologies are built on the low level of feature provided by the core OS layer. These technologies include. Okay, so whatever the technologies are used are built, they are built on the low level feature of the iOS. Okay, which is core operating system layer. So in this you have core Bluetooth frameworks, okay, external accessory framework, rate framework, security services framework, local authorization framework. So these are the different frameworks, okay, which the developers or the programmers who are developing the application can use while developing the applications for iOS uh, iOS devices. Okay, next is core services. Some important frameworks are present in the core services layer, which helps the iOS operating system to cure itself and provide better functionality. Okay, so there are different important features or frameworks which are available in the core services layer, and those features or frameworks helps the operating system to cure itself and provide better functionality. Cure itself means if it's stuck somewhere or any service is crashed, so it has ability to recover itself. Then you have address book framework. Okay, in core services, these are the options. These are the frameworks. Address book framework. The address book framework provides access to the contact details of the user. So this framework provides the contact details of the user. User means whatever the persons who are using the applications, downloading the application in their mobile phones, and using those application. Then CloudKit framework. This framework provides a medium for moving data between your app and iCloud. This framework is a medium. Medium means like now in our class we are using the Zoom as a medium for communication. So in the CloudKit framework, this framework provides the medium for moving data between our app and iCloud. iCloud means on the internet where our data is safe. Core data framework. This is the technology that is used for managing the data model of a model view controller app. So this is another technology which is used to manage the data. Then we have core foundation framework. This framework provides data management and service features for iOS application. Okay, it manages the data of the application, whatever the data is handled by the application, whatever the purpose it's made for. So the application handle it. Then core location framework. This framework helps to provide the location and heading information to the application. So the location services are handled by this location framework. Then core motion framework. Okay, all the motion related services, motion related based data is on the device is accessed with the help of this core motion framework. Then foundation framework, its objective C covering too many of the features found in the core foundation framework. Okay, so these are the different frameworks, so you don't need to like get confused or don't worry about these things because we will work on the Android mobile Android platform. So we will focus more than we will focus on more on that platform. Then health kit framework. This framework handles the health related information of the user. Okay, so home kit framework. This framework is used for tracking with and controlling connected devices with the user's home. Then social framework. It is simply an interface that access users' social media account. Okay, so when you use different applications, okay, then mostly they allow you like you can connect your account in this application. So for example, now if we take the example of WhatsApp, okay, so whenever you can say post or status on the WhatsApp, okay, it also gives you the notification like if you want to upload this status as a story to the Facebook. So this is how these social frameworks are working in the Android iOS application. Then StoreKit framework. This framework support for buying of contents and services from inside iOS apps. So this is used for buying of the content and services from the iOS applications. Then third layer we have media layer. With the help of the media layer, we will enable all graphics, video, and audio technology of this system. The different frameworks of media layers are UL-Kit graphics, core graphics framework, core animation, media player framework. So UL-Kit graphics, it contains or support the designing images and animating the view content. Okay, so whatever the images are shown in the applications this interface, it is controlled by UL-Kit graphics. Then core graphics framework. This framework supports 2D vector and image-based rendering, and it is a native drawing engine for iOS. So 2D animation you can see in the application is it is handled by this core graphic framework. Then core animation, this framework helps in optimizing the animation experience of the app in iOS. So if any application having the animation or animated images, animated videos, so this core animation framework help to generate those images or to show the better experience of those images to the user. Then media player framework. This framework provides support for playing this playlist and enable the user to use their iTunes library. So this is for playing the music. Okay. So the music like once you open any song in the media library of the mobile phone. Okay, then once you start, the next song will automatically plays. So this is how this media player framework controls the media library. Then you have AV Kit. This framework provides various easy-to-use interface for video presentation, recording, and playback of audio and video. So any video which if is available in the application, so those that videos want to pause, okay, to record, okay, to present, to view. So all these functions are controlled by this AV kit. Then OpenAI, this framework is an industry standard technology for providing audio. So this is for audio purposes. Like we can say that when we use like we are going to send the audio from the WhatsApp, okay? So audio notes. So those notes are handled by some framework. So like this in the iOS application, you have the framework which is handled by which handle the audio. You can say providing the audio technology. Then core images. This framework provides advanced support for motionless images. Okay, so these provide the support to the motionless images that are not moving. They are still static images. GLKit, this framework manages advanced 2D and 3D rendering by hardware accelerated interfaces. So for 2D and 3D animation are images, GLKit is the framework which support those images. Then you have Cocoa Touch. Cocoa Touch is also known as the application layer touch, which acts as an interface for the user to work with the iOS operating system. The Cocoa Touch layer provides the following frameworks. Okay, um, this is known as the application layer, and it acts as an interface between the user and iOS operating system. Then frameworks includes EventKit framework. This framework shows a standard system interface using view controllers for viewing and changing events. Okay, so standard system interface using view controllers. View controllers means we use different buttons, okay, to go to different screens. So our view of the application is changes. When we move to one screen, we move to another screen. So they have different views. So those views are handled by these framework, which is even kit framework. So for example, now, if from the chats for example, if we take the example of WhatsApp, okay, we will now we are at the chat screen, okay. Then we navigate to the call screen. So now we have this is the changing event. We are at the first we are at the chat screen. Now we are at the call screen of the WhatsApp. So this is the this means we have changed the event. So to handle this, all this even Git framework is used. Then game Git framework. This framework provides support for user to share their game related data on using a game center. Okay, so when the users are playing the online games, okay, so whatever the data they are sending required by that online games, it is handled by this game Git framework. MapKit framework. This framework gives us a scrollable map that one can include in your user interface of the app. So if you want to add the maps, okay, maps, Google Maps are one application. But if you want to add the maps in your application so that user can check their location, so you can use this framework will be used in by forwarding those maps in your application. Then PushKit framework. This framework provides registration support. Okay, so when the user is going to register in the application, so for providing this support to the user, this PushKit framework is used. So, do you have any question till now?